What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. We back in these streets. We in these free agent streets. We in the springtime streets. We in this daytime hours. It's light again. It's getting warm again. Let me tell y'all. I'm going to just tell y'all right now. Probably some of my misery that happens in November, December, and January is not just because my Cowboys continually fail every year. It's because I hate winter. Fall's okay, but spring and summer are my months. Fall's my birthday month, right? But that's I'm thinking the reason why, a lot of reasons why my misery comes about is because I hate cold weather, and I'm just a miserable person. So maybe that correlates with it going in with Dallas, so it just makes it double miserable. So forgive me, I will be more happier now it's warm. So anyway, let's jump right into it. I ain't gonna talk long. Just want to talk about the free agency. Free agency started yesterday on the 10th. Tampering, all that good stuff. 12th is when it really officially goes down with the team. Guys can sign with their teams. Let's jump right into it. Cowboys free agency. First of all, we saw Max Crosby, get the record-setting deal, the extension with the Raiders. Shout out to Max Crosby doing this thing. Also, we just saw Myles Garrett come with the biggest lie in the world, but I get it. You got to do what you got to do. But obviously, you're seeing $40 million per, highest paid non-quarterback in the league right now. So now you already see the bar is set, and that's what they love to do with their top guys. They like to see how the bar is set, and then they sign accordingly. That's why they got hit with CD. That's why they got hit with Dak. You could have signed them earlier. It still would have been a high price, but it would have been a lower, higher price, if you understand what I'm saying. So now we already know what the bar is. Micah Parsons, in my opinion, is not taking no hometown discount, and he shouldn't. He didn't have, 12 sacks in his first 4 seasons. You're in rarefied air. I'm not taking a discount if I was the player. I want my team to be great, but it's up to them to figure it out as far as negotiating, putting these contracts together, put us the best team possible to make it happen. He already went out there and said, let's get us some free agents, and I seen him crying on his Twitter when Johnson Ghost and left. But we'll talk about that in a second. So we already know what the bar is, 35 to 40 million. I think he's getting 40 per. So we know he's going to cost some bread. Just like that, just like CD, you got them 3 guys with huge contracts. Maybe you could have signed them earlier. I ain't the cap guy, so I ain't jumping into that. All I know is you better hurry up and sign them before drama comes, because there's no reason to have your guy. If you're not trading him and doing anything like that, then delaying the signing, because he needs to go ahead and get signed now. He's a building block. He's a franchise-type player. What are you waiting for? That's just my thoughts on Micah Parsons. So let's talk about the free agency right quick. Let's talk about the Cowboys first, what they signed. We talked about Osa, signed him to the $20 million deal. I was all with that. They signed Robert Jones. Just signed him. Well, let's talk about the own, and then we'll talk about the outside people. So they signed Osa. They re-signed. We talked about the Brock Hoffman. We talked about Wanye Thomas. We talked about C.J. Goodwin. They re-signed the long snapper. Okay. And then they re-signed. They just re-signed Marquise Bell. I thought that was a good signing. I like Marquise. We saw what he did a couple years ago under Dan Quinn's defense, and then he kind of had the injury issues last year. But I think he's definitely, him and Wanye were pieces that I wanted to push your boy Wilson and what's the other dang safety name? Hooker. I wanted them two to push them, but now it looks like with them coming back, they could be in the fold and possibly being starters. We'll see what happens with that. So I like Marquise Bell. I liked them re-signing Osa. And we talked about the other guys. Cool. Let's talk about the losses the Cowboys just lost. They just lost Jordan Lewis. Shout out to you, Jordan. I met Jordan a few times. He gave me an interview when I was out here in Columbus, Ohio. Him and Taco. Me and him got really cool. I got to see him again in camp. Had another interview with him. Cool dude. I've always had, great love for him. I've talked trash back and forth, but I love Jordan, what he does, what he represents, everything he brings to the table. And I wish we could have brought him back, and I think you could have, but you weren't overpaying for that. I'm not going to say he definitely deserves what he got in Jacksonville, for sure, because coming from that Lazarus injury with that foot, most people don't come back with that. And not only you came back and was a really dog with it. So shout out to him. And for real, he should get every penny. He deserved it. But I understand why the Cowboys didn't pay for that. I think he got like $10 million per $30 million contract, 20 guaranteed. He deserved it, but I knew the Cowboys weren't paying for that. So shout out to him. So, once again, we in these work streets. But, hey, like I said, shout out to Jordan getting his money, but I knew the Cowboys weren't going to pay that, but that's a big loss. So now it just feels like that cornerback is going to be a bigger need heading into this draft. A need. And then Dallas just lost Chauncey Golston to the Giants. That seemed like a Giants player, for real. 3-year, $20 million deal, I think. Dallas, I think that's one guy. Both of those guys Dallas could have kept, and I wonder why they didn't. But I see why they didn't do it with Jordan, because he was a lot of money for what the Jaguars paid. But Chauncey Golston, you definitely could have paid that number to him and could have brought him back. And he was a good two-belt piece. He was a good all-around player. Wasn't great at one thing, but it was good in a lot of areas. I think you should have brought him back. So that is what it is. And now let's talk about the incoming players that the Cowboys signed besides their own. Robert Jones, a guard from Miami, started 17 games last season, 1 year, 4.5. The bar is like $5 million for Dallas. Like, if you want more than $5 million, it's just like they're just not gonna mess with you. Remember, we in these streets. So as I kind of get ready to close, like I said, you got Robert Jones from Miami. The barometer seems like it's $5 million. If you want more than $5 million, you ain't come to Dallas. So Robert Jones from Miami Dolphins. They got Javonte Williams for $3 million from the Broncos. We saw what he did his rookie year. Had a great rookie year. Had the knee injury, kind of held him back. They were talking about Rico might get $6 million on the free agent market. That's not going to happen. So I pretty much feel like that's the Rico replacement. Javonte Williams still need to go attack the draft. And then they just recently signed Solomon Thomas just today, 2-year, $8 million. Remember, $5 million is the block. So they brought him in, defensive tackle. I think that's just a swap out from Chauncey Golston. I don't know if he's better. 29, not bad. But you really wanted to keep a Golston, and you could have signed him. I think that's the biggest problem that I have, is that you could have signed Golston, and you still could have signed Thomas. It just seems like you lose, and you're losing one and gaining one. So it's a trade-off. Whereas if you sign Golston and Thomas, now you feel better because you're building up the defensive tackle room instead of now, unless they're done, I don't know. You go in the draft thinking, well, we need another defensive tackle and this and that. And it just puts a lot of pressure on the rookies, and I just don't like that. So as I get ready to close, I think I'll see a lot of frustration out there, but as I said before, the Cowboys, they did stuff early. Cool. Still need to help out your rookie coach and Brian Schottenheimer. Cool. You open up that money with CD, $20 million. Open up that money with Dak, 30-something million. Re-sign Osa quick, 50-something million. I hope that's just not to say we open up that money just for Micah and we ain't doing nothing else. So I still feel like they're going to get a few people. Guys that I liked are gone. Devontae Adams, I knew they was never signing him. Jonathan Allen, that was a pipe dream. I wanted it. A lot of guys I put out there that I wanted, I knew they weren't getting. I think the biggest ones that hurt me was the Jonathan Allen, because you definitely could have got him. The Vikings got him for 3 years, $60 million, 20 per. You could have did that with him and Osa. 3-year deal. He 30. That would have been a great addition. And Dre Greenlaw, that was a frustrating one right there too. Dre Greenlaw, I really, really wanted him. He had an attitude, an edge. I know he had the ACL, but that's like a year removed. I know he had the calf injury related probably to that injury, but that's a full year removed. I feel like he's going to come stronger. You could have afforded him. He went to the Broncos, 3 year, 35, 11 per. Dallas definitely could have afforded that. So now I just feel like you're in the realm of you might have to look at getting Kendricks back for real. So, it is what it is. That's my new saying with the Cowboys. It is what it is. They're not changing their stripes. They did some stuff early, which is cool. But they still the same free agent office. They still the same. But, hey, you got Solomon Thomas. You got Javonte Williams. You got a guard. So you got a defensive tackle. You got a running back. And you got a lineman. All still those things you need to attack in the draft. There's a few other guys out there that I still would like. I would like Asante Samuel because you need a corner because you lost to Jordan Lewis. He's small like Jordan. He's scrappy like Jordan. And I wanted him over Kelvin Joseph. So that's a guy I still wanted. Kaiser White, linebacker. You missed out on Dre Greenlaw. He would have gave you attitude. But I really like Kaiser White. I liked him with Philly. I like him. He's a side-to-sideline player. Athletic enough. Can cover backs. I liked him when he went over to Arizona, and he still did well. That's a linebacker I would like to get. And Dalvin Tomlinson, I think my guy Moore, oh my God, he put the name out there. Dalvin Tomlinson, and I wanted Tomlinson ever since he was with the Giants. So that's about 3 years in the making I wanted him. How the Cowboys wait, so... I wish the Cowboys would, step up and match some people. That Dre Greenlaw was one of them that I felt like, dang, you really could have matched that one because you got the money to do it. And they don't like getting in bidding wars, so I get it, but I get frustrated because some players, you might want to bid with them because, that player may really give you some. Because if you had a Dre Greenlaw and you added him with Maris, and, you still had Micah who you could stand up with. Dre Greenlaw, really, that one hurt. Him and Jonathan Allen, I think those are the ones that hurt. So, but like I said, it is what it is. Hopefully we'll be talking on the final word tonight. I got a banquet tonight at a high school that I called games for. It's the first time high school has ever asked me to come to the banquet. This is a high school that I want to coach. My dream is always being able to coach high school, either football or basketball. That dream is this far away. It's Lord willing. If he asks, if this is what he wants, it'll happen. This is what I've been wanting, though. So they asked me to come to their banquet tonight, so I'm going to go to their banquet. Final word tonight, I might come in a little late. But just really throw some prayers up for me. I really want this. I really think I can be an impact to this program. I've coached for a very long time in my life, basketball and football, and I feel like I'm finally ready now. I'm kind of like the Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer took 25 years. I took about 15, 16 because I had that offer about 6 years ago. About over 10 years ago to coach, and I just feel like I wasn't ready at that time, but now I do. So now I feel like it's my time. So this is the school that's asking me to come to this banquet tonight that I want to coach for. So just throw some prayers up for me if you could. God opened his door for me to coach so I can, finally hit my dream of coaching high school. And I really think I can make the impact and really get this team nice because they ain't really that good. But I know I can help make them good. I know for a fact I can. So this might be a step going to this banquet, getting familiar with the kids. So wish me luck. Say a prayer up. Big Game James. Final word. Talk to you. I'm out. Peace.